this preseason game has now set the new ticket price high for anything that Caitlin Clark, any game she has played in.
We saw the Caitlin Clark effect. We saw the influx in fans.
People were willing to pay up to see Caitlin Clark.
They clearly have a big three, right? It's Caitlin, number first and foremost one, and then Aaliyah Boston, and then Kelsey Mitchell. And like, so those are your stars. That's the core of your roster.
What just happened in Iowa has every basketball fan in shock and every ticket broker scrambling.
Average paid price of $440 per ticket.
Caitlin Clark didn't just break records on the court. She shattered her own record off it, sending Indiana Fever ticket prices into the stratosphere. Just moments ago, history was made as fans emptied their wallets faster than ever before.
Somebody moves the needle when people are willing to pay ginormous amount of money. Is that a word? A massive amount of money to see Caitlin Clark play ball.
To witness Clark's return to her home turf. We're not talking about a playoff game or a championship final. This is a preseason matchup that's now commanding prices higher than anything we've ever seen in her career, college or pro. But it doesn't stop there. Behind the scenes, the Indiana Fever are unleashing a bold new strategy to seize control of the WNBA spotlight, and Clark is leading that charge.
The WNBA saw a boom like we have never seen. We saw Caitlin Clark come into the league. We saw the Caitlin Clark effect. We saw the influx in fans who flooded to the WNBA, and many of those were there for Caitlin Clark.
Stick around, because what we're about to uncover will show you exactly why every arena is turning into Caitlin Clark territory. If you're a Caitlin Clark fan and want to support her, type rookie in the comments.
Caitlin Clark, in that, has become arguably the most influential basketball player in the world, both on the men's and the women's side.
Caitlin Clark just did something no one thought possible. She broke her own record for the highest average ticket price ever for a game she's played in. And it wasn't a WNBA playoff game or even a regular season nail-biter. It was a preseason exhibition matchup between the Indiana Fever and the Brazilian national team, held at Carver Hawkeye Arena in Iowa. The same court where Clark made her name a household one. The average price fans paid for a ticket to this showdown? A staggering $440.
Iowa's Carver Hawkeye Arena is the most in-demand event involving Clark, with a, quote, average paid price of $440 per ticket.
That eclipses her previous record of $411 set on March 3rd, 2024, when she dropped 35 points against Ohio State to pass the legendary Pete Maravich for the all-time NCAA Division I scoring record. Let's put this into perspective. The ticket price range for this one preseason game went from $146 at the low end to a jaw-dropping $2,368 at the high end on the secondary market. And if you're wondering how fast those tickets disappeared, the entire arena sold out in just 15 minutes. That's faster than most concerts featuring A-list music artists. We're talking about an event where fans didn't hesitate to spend luxury-level prices just to be in the building with Caitlin Clark.
She takes over, she maestros, she controls game after game after game with her passing and her carefully chosen spots to score.
But this isn't just about one game or one moment. What makes this even more impressive is that this record-breaking ticket surge happened in Clark's second year, not her debut season. It's a clear signal that the demand to watch her isn't just surviving her rookie hype, it's growing stronger.
Yeah, I mean, that was like my biggest focus in the offseason, is just trying to get stronger and really working on that. And really thankful for Sarah, our strength and conditioning coach, like put in a lot of time with me, and we were in here consistently. Like, I think that was the biggest thing for myself, is just having that consistency to be able to work on it for 6 months or whatever it was. So I certainly feel a lot stronger, and, you know, I'm a pretty self-aware person. I knew that was going to be a huge part of it, and, you know, it's going to help me offensively, it's going to help me defensively, it's going to help me not get as tired throughout games. So yeah, definitely one of the focus points of my off season is just getting stronger, and, you know, even through these 2 practices, like I can certainly feel it.
Clark's return to Iowa sparked an emotional wave for her hometown fans. and it also ignited a national frenzy. According to AP reports, this is the highest average ticket price ever for any game involving Caitlin Clark, college or pro. No men's or women's basketball player in recent memory has done this, setting ticket records in both NCAA and professional arenas within such a short span. This isn't hype, it's history, and it's only the beginning of what's turning into a record-breaking season on and off the court. What Caitlin Clark is doing goes far beyond just breaking ticket price records for one preseason game. She's rewriting the economics of the entire Indiana Fever franchise, and honestly, the entire WNBA.
The average paid price for a Fever away game in 2025 was $272, up from $171 in 2024. The average is $197 for a Fever home game, more than double the $92 from last season. Wow.
Let's start with cold, hard numbers. Since Clark's arrival, the average ticket price for Indiana Fever games has exploded across the board. For away games in the upcoming 2025 season, fans will be paying an average of $272, up from $171 just a season prior. That's a 59% increase, nearly unheard of in professional sports from one year to the next. At home, it's even more staggering. The Fever's home game ticket average has more than doubled, skyrocketing from $92 to $197. That's not just a slight bump, that's transformational, and it cements Caitlin Clark as arguably the single most valuable player to her league's box office in modern history. But the Caitlin Clark effect doesn't just show up in ticket stubs, it's embedded into the DNA of how the Indiana Fever are now operating. Management didn't just sit back and hope Clark would carry the team alone. They went all in, reconstructing the roster around her to maximize both performance and appeal. The Fever's front office executed a series of bold moves in the offseason that sent one clear message. We're not waiting around, we're in win-now mode. First, they brought in Sophie Cunningham.
Sophie Cunningham is pumped to play with Caitlin Clark, even comparing her new teammate to a WNBA legend.
An experienced guard who didn't just bring veteran skills. She brought a resounding endorsement of Clark's game.
I think anytime you play with the GOAT of our team, or the GOAT of our game, you're going to learn a lot. You know, you have to be ready for the ball, head on a swivel at all times. And the way that she throws the ball is a lot how DT threw it. I think this is just the younger version of her, so she has a little bit more energy, a little bit more spunk. I miss DT in her prime, but doesn't mean she wasn't great when I played with her. But honestly, at the end of the day, everybody can shoot, right? If you're cutting and you're open, you're going to get the ball. And so you just have to be ready for that. And I'm excited for that. And I think you'll see 1 through 5 is interchangeable. And so you'll see the 5 bring the ball down. So it's going to be a little different for other teams to play defense against us as well.
Cunningham, who previously spent 6 seasons with the Phoenix Mercury, compared Caitlin Clark directly to Diana Taurasi, widely recognized as the greatest player in WNBA history. Cunningham said Clark reminded her of a younger version of Taurasi. Sharp, dynamic, and always a threat to distribute the ball with creativity and power. Coming from a player who shared a court with the GOAT, that's not light praise. She emphasized how Clark's ability to find teammates and deliver pinpoint passes mirrors what Taurasi did at her peak, only with a bit more youthful energy and spunk. That wasn't all. The Fever also fortified their roster with veterans like DeWanna Bonner.
How she felt the team was gelling and how she felt about the addition of DeWanna Bonner. She basically said that when she talks, people listen. And she kind of wants to win it all for her. Here it is.
DB's been tremendous, and obviously, not only as a leader, she's a tremendous basketball player too. She's won championships. She knows what it is. So when she speaks, everybody listens. So I think that was a piece of the thing we were missing last year. It's we didn't really have that inside of our locker room. So just really grateful for that, and just the way she talks and she leads. For me as a second-year point guard, I want to win for her. This is the end of her career. She deserves it.
A proven defender and one of the few players who had real success guarding Caitlin Clark last season. Alongside Bonner, they added Brianna Turner, Natasha Howard, and shored up their core with Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell.
Everything is just absolutely new. It feels really good. It feels fresh. It's kind of
like when you take your clothes out the dryer, kind of like fresh. It feels different, and it feels good because we have new leadership, we got new players, we got vet leadership, so I think all that combined just makes for a good atmosphere right now. It feels good.
How does that help you guys elevate even more for the players who are returning?
It makes it easier. I remember this time last year, it didn't feel good. So we have to get that in order first, for people to start playing well. It's like the domino effect. But I think once your culture is kind of established, how you guys see it now, I think it makes everything else way easier. I don't know if that makes sense, but way easier.
Both all-star caliber talents. The trio of Clark, Boston, and Mitchell is now considered the Fever's Big Three, a core that blends Clark's playmaking wizardry with Boston's dominant post presence and Mitchell's lethal scoring punch. If you think this roster shakeup is just for show, think again. Odds makers across the nation have taken notice. On DraftKings, the Fever are now 4th in odds to win the WNBA Finals, sitting at plus 380, just behind perennial powerhouses like the New York Liberty, Las Vegas Aces, and Minnesota Lynx. On FanDuel, they're tied for 2nd, alongside the Aces at plus 350. These aren't long shot odds, and this is a clear declaration. The Indiana Fever are contenders, and Caitlin Clark is the engine driving them forward.
So all the rookies are in Indiana. They were at the Pacers game, tossing out shirts with the rest of the team. So hot off the presses, the Indiana Fever have dropped a workout video, which has Bree Hall, it has Yvonne Ejim, and it has Michaela Timpson showing off their stuff with Caitlin Clark.
Don't forget the merchandise surge. Analysts are already predicting Clark's jersey will be one of the highest selling in the entire league, if not the absolute top seller. There's even speculation that Clark could end up with the 2nd best-selling jersey in WNBA history within her first 2 years. Combine that with a Fever team that's selling out arenas, doubling their home ticket prices, and drawing massive road crowds, and you have a perfect storm of talent, star power, and fan engagement. The numbers don't lie. The Fever averaged just 20 wins last season, bowing out in the first round of the playoffs. Now, they've got one of the most formidable rosters, skyrocketing ticket sales, and a national fan base eager to follow Caitlin Clark's every move. What's happening in Indiana isn't just a rebuild, it's a revolution, and Clark is sitting firmly at the center of it. What's unfolding with the Indiana Fever right now goes beyond basketball. This is a cultural shift, a full-on takeover.
The next team, as we go through our WNBA preview, is the team that I know many of you are fascinated by. It's the team that I don't know what the odds are in the sports books up there in North Carolina, Mitch, but certainly nationally, the conversation when it comes to the WNBA surrounds the Indiana Fever, the 2nd season of Caitlin Clark in the W, and how this team that's been retooled with a new coach, they've brought in some veteran players. You can make the argument they're in win now mode, combined with that young core that they still have predominantly on rookie contracts.
And the front office knows it. That's why they didn't just build a competitive roster around Caitlin Clark. They built a brand, a movement. And they're shouting it from the rooftops with one of the boldest marketing campaigns the WNBA has ever seen. The campaign is called Now You Know, and it's not just a catchy phrase, it's a statement of intent. The Indiana Fever aren't asking for respect anymore. They're taking it. It all started when the team released a slick, powerful trailer that dropped jaws across the sports world. The video declared, "We're not here to chase greatness, we're here to claim it." This wasn't just a hype video for their fans. It was a clapback to every critic, rival, and doubter who tried to dismiss the Fever's meteoric rise last season. From slick visuals to confident narration, the campaign hammered home a few unmistakable messages. The Fever are the moment, their fans are unmatched, and Caitlin Clark is leading the takeover. The campaign leans heavily into the fact that Clark has turned every game, home or away, into an Indiana Fever showcase. One of the standout lines from the trailer boldly declared, "Our road games sound like home games because our fans don't ask for permission to dominate." That line isn't just swagger, it's fact. Last season, it was clear. When the Fever hit the road, Caitlin Clark fans packed opposing arenas in record numbers, often outnumbering the home crowd. Opposing teams were forced to move games to larger arenas just to accommodate the overflow of fans desperate to see Clark in person. That phenomenon hasn't slowed. If anything, it's amplified heading into her 2nd year. The Fever aren't just acknowledging that phenomenon, they're owning it. As part of the campaign, the team dropped new merchandise that's already flying off shelves. One standout item, a black tour-style t-shirt boldly stamped with the slogan, "Every game is a home game."
So if you go to the team store, the Indiana Fever's team store, you will see that they have a brand new t-shirt that they are selling. And that t-shirt says, "Every game is a home game." And then on the back, it says, "Now you know," with a sold out banner with all of their basically schedule. It's like a tour t-shirt and it says, "Every game is a home game." They are leaning in to what we have known since last season. We knew that this was the Indiana Fever. We knew that they were breaking barriers. We knew that they were breaking records. We knew that they were selling out. We knew that they were causing other teams to move their games to other arenas. Now they're standing on it.
On the front. On the back, a list of the Fever's full season schedule styled exactly like a concert tour tee. A subtle but sharp reminder that Clark's presence is turning every court she steps on into her stage. And stamped across the design is the campaign's signature phrase, "Now you know." Even the visuals in the trailer are calculated and fierce. In one memorable shot, Clark is seated in a movie theater with a wall of Fever fans behind her. Front and center, one fan's shirt reads, "They not like us," a phrase dripping with confidence and attitude. A not-so-subtle reminder to rivals that the Fever are in a league of their own when it comes to energy, talent, and fan-base loyalty. But it's not just about flexing on rivals. The Now You Know campaign is good for the entire league. When the Indiana Fever talk big, it ignites passion in both their fans and their opponents. Fans of teams like the New York Liberty and Las Vegas Aces aren't sitting idly by. They're gearing up to respond. Every matchup with the Fever instantly feels like a marquee rivalry game, loaded with energy, pride, and anticipation. That means higher attendance, spiking TV ratings, louder arenas, and a spotlight that shines not just on Indiana, but on every opponent who shares the floor with them. And the WNBA knows exactly what they have in Caitlin Clark and the Fever. That's why the league scheduled an eye-popping 41 of Indiana's 44 games to be nationally televised this season.
The Indiana Fever being that premier team, being the team that has 41 out of 44 games nationally televised, being that team that everyone wants to see, they have to make sure that they're setting them up for a great product.
Let that sink in. Nearly 93% of their games will be on national TV. That's more national exposure than any other team in the league. It's a far cry from last season, when the Fever endured one of the toughest schedules in WNBA history.
Last year in 2024, the Fever had 11 games in 20 games. 11 games in 20 days, 5 home, 6 away, and 2 back-to-backs. And in 2025, they have 11 games in 32 days, 7 home, 4 away, and 0 back-to-back.
Cramming 11 games into 20 days with brutal road stretches. This year, it's different. Indiana's schedule is built for success. 11 games in 32 days, more home games early, and 0 back-to-backs. That's not just a scheduling fluke. It's the league recognizing that Clark and the Fever are the main event. And all of this comes at a moment when the WNBA itself is pivoting to a sharper, more confident marketing strategy. Gone are the days of downplaying rookie stars or tiptoeing around rivalries. In the WNBA's latest league-wide promo, they showcase the faces who move the needle. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, A'ja Wilson, Paige Buchers, Sabrina Ionescu, and others. The league is leaning into star power unapologetically, and Caitlin Clark is front and center. But make no mistake, while the WNBA benefits, it's the Indiana Fever who are leading the charge. Their new mantra is clear. We're not here for the moment, we're here for the takeover. And every sold-out arena, every skyrocketing ticket, every packed road game is proof that the takeover has already begun.
Journey goes for CC, right? Because I think many of us, look, she's 1 year in, but many of us believe when it's all said and done, she will be the one that's considered the GOAT.
Caitlin Clark isn't just rewriting record books. She's redrawing the entire map of professional women's basketball. In just her second year, she's turned preseason games into sellouts, ticket prices into luxury items, and road arenas into home court advantages. And with the Indiana Fever's bold new attitude and loaded roster behind her, this isn't a passing moment. It's the dawn of a new era. Whether you're watching for the highlights, the rivalries, or the sheer spectacle of history unfolding in real time, one thing is certain. You're witnessing something we've never seen before. So buckle up, because this ride is just getting started. And if you're a Caitlin Clark fan and want to support her, type rookie in the comments.